Viewer discretion is advised. Your fave will be criticized.
That's Chris.
That's Shan.
And welcome to CCTV, the non-stop pop show.
And today we will be reviewing the bonus tracks from Kylie's disco album, the Guest List Edition. So if you're wondering who we are, Shan and I have a huge range of experience in the music industry, from performing on stage to working at record labels. So we have a lot of insight into the crazy music industry. So if you've made it this far, please subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and for our listeners, a rating and review on your preferred podcast platform would be very much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is actually part 2 of an episode because we've already reviewed the entire standard edition of Disco. So check out that episode if you haven't already. And we've had a lot of comments asking why we didn't discuss the deluxe bonus tracks. So with the release of the guest list edition, it is the perfect time to discuss those as well as the new duets. So let's get into it. We will now go track by track and discuss the production, vocals, and lyrics and give our ratings for each song.
So the first track that we're going to talk about is Till You Love Somebody, which was done by Kylie, Sky Adams, Timu Brunilla, and Lindsley Campbell, sorry. And yeah, so this track, I like it, but I have to say, just to preface this, that personally, I love the disco, like, I'm going to put this down, the standard disco track listing. So these 4 bonus tracks, I feel, are bonus tracks for a reason. But yeah, so anyway, this one's good. I like the guitar riff, but it's not the most memorable. What do you think?
I agree. I feel like this song is like the whimsical walk home from the club after the last call from Celebrate You. So it's a good little transition. It's like after we all left the bar or the club, whatever, Celebrate You's playing, and then the song would come on. The claps give the song energy to an otherwise relaxed, like, key and guitar melody. I can't lie. It is very mellow. It's mid-tempo for sure. The song is a great tempo for a night at a roller rink if you want to kind of skate through,
Yes,
get a
I
little
feel
groove.
that.
Yeah. So I was thinking, okay, I can see that. The sentiment is quite nice. Like, there are different things to live and experience, and I could do it alone, but doing it with you is so much more beautiful. But honestly, the production is pretty consistent with nothing else standing out. But the you don't really know part, you don't really know until you love something. Okay, how's it go?
Yeah.
Yeah, you I don't know what the heck she was saying at first.
Same. I had to look it up.
At the Apple Music lyrics scrolling. But yeah, I didn't know what she was saying. But the ending was fun. Like the love someone, love somebody. I sound terrible singing it right now. But yeah, I think that was cute at the end. But
yeah, I think for me, I agree. I like your idea of it kind of like you just left the club and it's like the wind down. I think that's a good description of it, because it's like a nice, like, shoulder bopping song, but it's not one that you would like, really dance to.
Right.
I think I do like the verses more than the chorus. I think the chorus, it's okay. I mean, I feel like it just doesn't really go anywhere, honestly. But I like the contrast of like the vocal effect that they have on her, and then that kind of vocoder that comes in kind of just to contrast that. I do like that. And the ending with the synth solo and everything is good. But yeah, for me, it's just a 7. How about you?
I'm going to match your 7. Next song on the guest list is Fine Wine. And this is written by Kylie Minogue, Sky Adams, and Megan Cotton. Oh my goodness, this is like what I consider to be like the response to Monday Blues. I know Monday Blues wasn't like everyone's cup of tea, but it was just it was jiggy enough for me to get even jiggier with it. But yeah, the fun guitar strums and the quirky percussions in there, oh my goodness, I enjoyed them. The cowbell was interesting. It needs more cowbell. I think the one thing I really love about funk guitar is that you could hear the guitar pick on the strings. I love it, especially when it's an electric guitar. I mean, an electric guitar. So it makes it sound even more authentic, more live. And the strings of the song are fascinating. There is this standing bass sound that kind of just goes, as a song, even in the first verse already. There's like, wow, okay. And then there's some violin flourishes like right in the beginning as well. And even in the chorus, there's some flourishes that are mixed really lowly, but it adds a nice texture to that part. And the second verse has background vocals that maintain the excitement that the chorus has already left us off on. And I love the lyrics of this one. Like, see you at the bar, drinking fine wine. You like the finer things in life. Baby, follow me. Come take a sip of me. I was like, yes, girl. Listen, she's the life of the party. She knows she looks good. And yes, Miss Minogue, you have aged like fine wine. I'm here for it.
Yes.
What about you?
Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, agreed. Another great electric guitar riff that
Yeah.
kind of leads this one. And I love the beep beep in the verses, this little
yeah.
homage to Donna Summer's Bad Girls, I think.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
is really cute. And yeah, it's fun. It's very like classy disco, like
Yes.
she's telling us to let loose, but also like stay classy, like
Right. Like don't have
don't
the
be a
crazy
mess.
like parties,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be a mess. Everyone in this party is wearing crazy heels and very tight dresses. So it's like,
right. Keep it
yeah,
classy.
that's the like environment that I'm imagining with this song. But yeah, I love the pre-chorus as well. I think it's really fun with the chanting and the counting and the different languages. And you can definitely hear she's having fun, like in her vocal delivery.
Yeah.
Production wise, I agree. Really little small sounds that you really wouldn't notice unless you were listening with headphones, like very clearly and carefully. There's a lot of vocal layers and things like that, and some fun backing vocals. I love that the middle eight where she's like chocolate cake. Woo! It's like it's really fun and it's funny. So yeah, I like this one. What would you rate this one?
I would give this song an 8. Monday Blues is still the bigger sister, like the younger sister that I'm bumping with. Fine Wine is the eldest one. I like her.
Okay, fair. Yes, I'm gonna match you also with an 8. The third track that we're gonna talk about is Hey Lonely, which was done by Kylie, Sky Adams, and Megan Cotone again. And I really like this one. I think this is actually my favorite of the 4 bonus tracks, the original bonus tracks. I think it's just a great example of a song that sounds very effortlessly joyful without being cheesy.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Kylie's always been really good about that. And yeah, I think this is just a really good example of that. So yeah, my favorite part though is the pre-chorus. I love that she's just like, I've got a question for you.
Oh,
and and then you can hear like a build in the production as well. And it's like, oh my God, what's the question? What's the question? So it's like that little anticipation is cute. Like I really enjoy that in the build of the song. And I also think she just sounds so good in this song. I think it sits really well in a great spot in her voice. And even when she takes it up the octave, the second verse, it still sounds very open. Like I think she was just having a good day in the studio that day. I think
felt that.
Yeah, but yeah, really, really like this one. What do you think?
This song is oh my God, so cute. But like you said, it's about sounding jovial without being cheesy. And I think it's because of the tone she took. I mean, singing it in her falsetto, but like not like high pitched, like weird falsetto. I think the older she's getting, the more she's like, I mean, of course, when we're younger, our vocals are a lot higher, right? So now that she's getting older, everything sounds a lot more balanced and not grating. That's not the word I want to use, because she's not grating, but it's high pitch, and you're like, whoa, she can get up there. But now it's hitting in this like really nice place where it's like a sweet spot. The song sounds like it's being revived in the beginning. Oh my goodness, like there's a sound of like that record in rotation, that classic vinyl sound, and the lyrics. Oh, they supplement the production so well. Like as Kylie's catching this lonely person's attention, there are more instruments added, hand clap, a guitar, and then everything sounds really distant. And if I'm not mistaken, the bass in the first verse, there's an EQ. Somebody did something on it because it sounds so far away, like almost like this person is like in a fog and nothing else. Like when the music's too loud and it sounds super distant, or if you're like outside, you can hear it inside of the club. Like that's what it sounds like. And I'm like, oh, okay, I like this. The second verse, the bass is more forward, and I love the low harmony in the chorus. I thought it was a dude, but it could be, but I think it's her voice pitched down, which is cool. And the second verse sustains a constant pulsation that through the bridge, and that's when the sentimentality comes back again. They're dancing in the circle, looking at each other, giving you very much, I had a time of my life, and then we get swept up in the dancing again. So I'm here for all that. Again, hey, lovely, what you doing for the rest of your life? I sound terrible. My voice is gone because I myself was at a disco. So
All right, so what do you rate this one?
I'm going to give this one. I'm gonna give it an 8. Give it an 8. What about you?
Cool. I will go slightly higher and do an 8.5.
Up next on the disco guest edition rotation is Spotlight by Kylie Minogue, Sky Adams, Danny Shaw, and Curious Houston. Now, I cannot lie to you. When I heard this track, I thought it was going to go somewhere. It didn't go where I needed it to go. Even now, as I'm speaking about it, I can't quite recall it comparatively to the other ones, right? Not saying it's not good. I'm just saying it wasn't hitting me the way the previous song hit, and then how the next song will hit. So it was okay for me. It felt a little bit fillerish. There was another pitched voice that harmonized with Kylie in the chorus, and I mean the lyrics are pretty standard issue, simple, like, hey, I'm the star of this disco, I'm the star of the dance floor. Yes, I mean I would love to see her perform it. Like Infinite Disco, the stage was great, and this would be awesome for that catwalk. Like she would kill it. For a fact, I know she'd kill it. Just kind of grooving down. It's cute. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I agree. Not my favorite. But here's the thing. Even Kylie's filler tracks are better than most tracks by other artists. So even though it's not the best, she's just set her standard so high that it's like, you know what I mean? So it's not a bad song at all, but it's just the album is just so good that in comparison, this just feels kind of not as good. Yeah, so for me, I think the highlight of the track is the use of the talk box, which it was done by Lindsley Campbell for this song, as well as on Dance Floor Darling on the album. He's performed it with her as well. And I think the talk box is just so cool. Like we always say like, oh, your voice is, an instrument, but like this is really like turning it into an instrument. And I think it's actually used quite well in this throughout the song. And especially obviously he gets like his moment in the middle eights, right? Where he gets to basically do his own guitar solo with his voice, essentially is what it sounds like. So yeah, other than that though, it really doesn't stand out to me. Like it's cute. And that's kind of it. So yeah, it's a bonus track.
What did you rate it?
Like I said, it's still not a bad song, so I'll give it a 7. But definitely my least favorite on like all of disco, probably. Yeah.
Even more than Unstoppable.
Yes.
Holy smoke.
Actually, to be fair, that song has grown on me since we did our review. Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Also, the extended version. Okay, so there's an extended version of Disco that's been released on vinyl only. And I really hope it does get a digital release because a lot more background vocals, a lot of new ad-libs and stuff are in there. And it's made a lot of songs even better. So just, if anyone has a vinyl player, I would recommend it. And hopefully it gets on streaming at some point. Yeah.
Copy that. I agree. And so that being said, I do match your 7 as well.
So the first of the new duets on this guest list edition is A Second to Midnight with Years and Years. And this one was done by Kylie, Richard Biff Stannard, Duck Blackwell, Ollie Alexander, who is Years and Years, and Martin Ciolier. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry if I just ruined that. But anyway, so this song, I'm going to be honest, I was a little underwhelmed the first time I heard it. I just thought it was going to be a little more powerful. I think it was a little more understated than I expected. But it has grown on me a lot. This is just another great example of effortless joy. It's not hard. I mean, it's very hard not to smile, at the very least, like when you're listening to this, especially when you're watching the music video too. Like it's just one of those songs. So yeah, I think it's great. I think it kind of works for like a game night, and it also works out in like the clubs. Like I think it's a good like kind of this like middle tier song that just kind of works in like all these different settings. So yeah, what do you think of it?
I think I agree with you. I think when I first heard it, I was expecting a little bit of oomph. But yeah, it is a nice little middle ground for both. Again, a sweet spot. I love the synths and the flourishes and the twinkle before the pre-hook. There are a lot of interesting sounds on here. And I think this is, I think not one of the only songs, but probably one of the only songs on the whole disco, this whole disco era that is like pure future funk, because
Mhm.
I didn't feel disco from here. I felt like very future funk, maybe some EDM, future bassy kind of like, that kind of thing, not full pure,
Yeah.
but in the vein of disco. So I appreciated that. And I have to be honest, I only heard of Years and Years, maybe like I heard one song by
Mhm.
them. And I was like, okay, but their voice didn't stick in my head. Oh, Honey can sing a little some. I was really enjoying Ollie's voice. It's very like, it's smooth, it's like butter. I love their tone. And the live version of them singing it together. Oh
Yeah, it
my
was very cute.
God. Oh,
Yeah, the
yes.
chemistry between them is great.
Totally. And I love that they were harmonizing together. And I love that the background vocalists, they just made everything sound so much more full, more entertaining. And it really, they emphasized a lot of the harmonies that I heard. And I thought, oh, this is nice, but I want a little bit of more oomph. Again, the whisper bridge was like the sensual and passionate part. I enjoyed that. And that's probably the part that I like really, really liked the most, for
Yeah.
sure. But in the video, I have to say, I was a little confused about what was happening with the bridge and the choreography. What was going on? I don't know who choreographed it, but this person likes interpretive dance for sure.
I mean, I think it was supposed to be kind of silly. I think the whole thing. So I
True.
think with that it kind of made sense. I love the video.
Yes.
I think that actually helped make the song grow on me as well. First off, Kylie looks amazing.
Yeah, that cheetah
And
coat.
yeah, and I think the cheetah code is actually an homage to her "What Do I Have to Do" video from back in like the early '90s, I believe.
Wow.
Where she also wore a coat like that, and her hair was very similar to that as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love that they just went off the whole "I think we're the same" line
Right.
as like the entire video concept, because the flashes of them like in being each other,
Yes.
they're so quick, and like they really kind of make you question, especially the first few times. You're like, wait, what just happened? Like, did I
Right.
just see Kylie in that wig? Like, what?
Right.
So I loved that, and that's great, like replayability.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where you want to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
All the people in masks and things were a little strange.
That's what,
But again, like I think the whole thing was just really silly and fun. I
yeah.
loved all the lights and yeah,
Oh, yeah.
very cute video. And yeah, I would happily watch it over and over again.
Right. I mean, I watched it over and over again just to kind of figure out what was happening. I just think, like I said, the choreography of them circling each other
Mhm.
with the bridge, I was like, this feels very much like, be prepared. I just felt like, I was like, what's happening? The Lion King. And I have to say, these two dress as two, I can't even speak. I love it. These two dress as each other reminded me of have you seen 30 Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of Jenna and Paul when she was dating the man who was dressed as her. And the clones. Oh my goodness. Again, like it was just really fun. Now, like I said, some choreography, I was like, what is happening? Even if they weren't taking it very seriously, I think at this point, as a fresh fan, as a new fan, I've noticed a lot of choreography. I was like, that doesn't make no sense, but it's Kylie, so I'll accept it, performance wise. I'm like, oh, what's happening? But you're like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, I think this person choreographed it. It wasn't the person from the X tour. It wasn't the person from this tour,
Yeah.
So, but again, they appear to be having the time of their lives, and therefore I felt the same way. So congrats, y'all.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I give the song an 8.5. It might grow on me. So this is not a fixed number, y'all. Because
Yeah.
I'll be coming at us like
I mean, again, I can't say this more, but like
Mhm.
this album is amazing. So
Yeah.
like we're being really critical here.
Right.
Especially,
Right.
and a lot of disco has grown on me since we did the last video. I feel like a lot of them would be 10s now anyway. So anyway, for me, yeah, I really like this track. And I like Ollie as well. So I will give it a 9.
Up next, we have Kiss of Life with Jessie Ware. And this was written by Kylie Minogue, Jessie Ware, James Ford, Danny Parker, two producers who worked a lot on Jessie Ware's album, Shungozo. Shungaduzo.
Shungudzo?
Yes.
Yeah.
A frequent collaborator for Jessie Ware and also co-writer for Little Mix songs, such as Touch and Wasabi, iconic songs, of course. And if you have not heard or seen our Pop 101 featuring Little Mix, I implore you to do so because we went from the Rudy to the Tootie. And I must say that episode was so much fun to film. So definitely check that out when you have the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. So Jessie Ware. Well, first off, so disco obviously has kind of made this comeback, especially during the pandemic or right before, right? With like Dua
Right.
Lipa kind of heading it. And then so Jessie Ware is right up there with
Yeah.
kind of the queens that have the pop queens that have like embraced the disco sound. So her What's Your Pleasure album is awesome. So if you like disco, you will like this album. So if you haven't heard it, I definitely think you should. She definitely goes with the more like I feel love kind of aspect of disco where it's a little
Yeah.
more sexy and sultry. Um it's not as like glittery as Kylie. Yeah.
Right.
But so this track, since it is done with more Jessie Ware's people, more so than Kylie's people. So I love that this actually now adds some depth to the disco album and brings the sound to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's so much fun. I think first off, I love the percussion in it. I love all the different drums and how funky it is. And then the play between Kylie and Jessie, they use all the tones they can. Like they
Yeah.
whisper, they do some like really like sassy like phrases at each other. There's like long drawn out vocals. There's like more like quick, like very like,
Yes.
yeah. So it's just like staccato. Yeah. So really interesting song that just keeps your interest the whole way through because you don't really know where it's going kind of the whole time, which I love. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the dynamic range is what really snatched me with this song. And very much like what you said, it gave me Donna. Oh my God. I was sitting here like,
Yeah.
holy smokes. The spoken parts, the sensuality, that groove. And I know that, Apollonia 6 and Vanity 6 are like 80s, but the layered kind of like speak singing, that is so Prince. And then it gave me Tina Maria as well. I mean, they're all white women. Tina, Jessie, and Kylie. But see, the thing is, this song right here, if I kind of slipped this in a little bit of a in my mom's playlist, she wouldn't even know. Like they gave me blue-eyed soul, honey. But yeah, this could have been recorded in the 70s, kept in the vault for many, many years, and I wouldn't have even mind if they go, oh hey, this came from a vault. This was so good. It was disco decadence, and like you said, it added the depth that I think that you and I were discussing we would have hoped for the standard edition. I'm not saying that she needs to be all like dramatic and like emotional, but I like when she kind of goes a little bit lower, kind of, sings from her gut, gives me some of that growl that I like. There's a sustained horn section in the beginning that makes me feel like these two divas are taking the stage. And Jessie's section of the song is very much fun. Okay, the background vocals and the ad-libs are unpredictable, and I love that. Switching up the verses are a favorite pastime of mine, and the lyrics are demanding but not domineering. It's just like, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, come give me some love, maybe a little please, but not I'm not begging you. I'm gonna say please just one time, honey. And after that, I'm telling you, give me my love, give me my kisses. And I think one of my favorite moments is the switch up of the top line in the pre-hook. So the pre-hook in the beginning was a lot simpler, and then it came back around. You have some like speaky, singy moments, and oh my goodness, can we get into that performance?
Yes. So they just performed this track together on the Jonathan Ross show. They killed it. It was everything I wanted from them, and they looked like they were having the best time. And also, those 6 background vocalists, shout out, they were also living their best lives. Yeah, with the snapping. And they also made full use of them. Like the backing vocals sounded amazing in that.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think this was one of the first performances I've seen in a really long time by a Western artist that was A, this much fun, and B, actually sung live. No offense to no offense to anyone. I'm not saying you're not talented if you don't sing live because you're dancing or whatever, but they gave you performance. They gave you theatrics. And the only people I've really seen do that are like maybe like a Doja Cat singing Say So, or like Chloe Bailey singing live or something like that, where they have like the disco theme going on. They're giving you the camp. All right. I haven't seen that in a really long time from a lot of Western artists because everyone wants to be really cool, right? They're not thinking about cool. They're thinking about the divas of yesteryear used to do this. We're about to kill it right now. And speaking of camp, that video, what's going on?
I think that video is the definition of camp. I remember someone asked me what camp meant, and I feel like it's kind of weird to describe because it's like all you're like, it's like over the top but like kind of weird, like I don't really
so much nuance to that, like it's
yeah. And this is a great example. I feel like now I can just send them this video and be like, this is an example of camp.
Right.
because it's absolutely ridiculous, but like
Yes.
extremely entertaining.
Yes.
And I really have no idea what's going on the whole time. I think having watched it like 5 or 6 times now, I think Kylie is either a really annoying patron or like or a food critic. I couldn't tell if she was
Right.
like a more like prestigious person than just a
Right.
regular patron. And I guess she's at Jessie's restaurant, and Jessie just eventually just goes like Kylie's taunting her, and then she just like goes crazy.
Jessie's great. She's as soon as Kylie walked in, she was like, she walked out. I think if you were to describe camp, it'd be like purposeful extraness, just to kind of like simplify it. Again, there's nuance. There's so many different things that go into it. I mean, Kylie coming in with the glasses and the hats and everyone's being all like extra giddy, and then Jessie being extremely particular about the tomato being sliced a certain way. But honestly, whatever I say about the video is just going to add on what you said. But at this point, Kylie has done everything she needs to do. All the iconic moves she needs to make, they're done. And I can respect that. All right. At this point, she doesn't have to prove herself. And what else can she do, you ask? Have fun. And that's what she did in this video. That's what she's done with this album. And I think a lot of fans, new and old, can literally look at her and be like, if you don't know who she is, honey, you know now. She doesn't have to sit there and open up her top, get butt injections, do all this crazy stuff to get your attention, because she has made her mark. And at this point, you either step up to her level and hope you don't get lost under this little Australian dynamo's heel. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yes. Oh man. All right, so I will give this one a 9. How about you?
I agree. I will also give this a 9.
So the final new song on the guest list edition of Disco is Can't Stop Writing Songs About You with Gloria Gaynor. And this one was done by Kylie, Daniel Davidson, Ian James, who is an awesome songwriter who's worked with Little Mix and some of our favorite K-pop groups like SHINee and EXO, and also the artist Sinead Hartnett, which is awesome. So first off, it's amazing that Kylie got Gloria Gaynor on a song. I'm going to be honest, I thought Gloria Gaynor had at least retired. I mean, I don't know. Has she released anything new?
Yeah, I was like, not gonna, yeah.
But yeah, so I definitely had high expectations just knowing that she got Gloria Gaynor on a song. I definitely was quite underwhelmed the first time that I heard it, but it is an earworm. I did hear it out at a bar the other night. And the crowd was like loving it. And it's like been in my head a lot. And so it's grown on me quite a bit just in these past couple days that we've had the song. And I think though the chorus is very simple, I think all the build in it is actually quite subtle. And I think Gloria sounds great, like really warm tone and a very interesting contrast to Kylie. Especially when they sing together, like with Kylie doing the backing vocals behind Gloria's verse. It's just an interesting contrast between the two.
Right.
So yeah, I actually enjoyed a lot, and I'm curious what they're gonna do with the song. I believe a music video has been filmed.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, what do you think?
Gloria, what's up, girl? How you doing? We've been missing you a little bit. Honestly, she might be one of those cases where it's like she's been working, but like unless you like really on her heels, you wouldn't really know all that much. But she doesn't really have to do much. I mean, she said, bow, here is my work. Here's my opus. I don't have to do anything else. Goodbye. Like, but the bass line of this song was giving me sass, honey. And I feel like I didn't get it much as I wanted, like with the melody of the song, right? The delivery of the vocals reflected sass with a little bit of vocal pride and a little bit of like, there's some sass in their vocals, but the melody itself was just a little tepid. I didn't get the oomph. I wish we could have gotten a punchier chorus though. At least if you're going to have like these more subtle, more sensual kind of, not biting, that's not the word I want to use, but if you're going to have something like that as a verse, give me punch in that chorus, or give me something that's a little bit more powerful, or a little bit more passionate. I didn't get that from them with the chorus, and I just kept thinking, I just can't stop loving you by Michael Jackson. They don't sound exactly alike, but for some reason, like I just can't stop writing songs about you. I just heard I just can't stop loving oh, right about you. So like for whatever reason, my brain kept switching the two. But it's okay. Gloria Gaynor, I'm glad she hopped on this because she didn't have to. No, because some divas, they're like, hey, I ain't got shoot, look at Patti LaBelle. I ain't heard Patti do a duet with someone this big. You know what I'm saying? Aretha Franklin was beefing with Beyonce because she called Tina Turner the queen. Like, there's just so many things, like, but she's a legend in the disco community. And she's probably one of the few women we have left that people are like, can recognize at the drop of a dime. And again, she doesn't have to prove anything else. So I'm happy that she decided to step down from her lovely, lovely, lovely Sky and grace us with her presence because she's a goddess. She sounds great, thankfully, because some people lose their voices. And like you said, she's like, how old is she?
78, I think.
Exactly. The goddess has descended to give us some vocals. So thank you.
Yeah. All right. So what do you rate this one?
Even with all that said, goddesses, I'm gonna give y'all a 7.5.
Okay. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay.
All right, so moving on to our cut or keep section. So out of these new tracks, or well, the bonus tracks and the new tracks, what would you cut?
I'm going to cut Spotlight from this album. I cannot even remember it now. Like out of all these songs I can go through, I can't say I remember it. And again, this album set the bar so high that Spotlight was just like, oh, kind of got it. Yeah. What about you?
I agree. I would actually cut Spotlight as well. Even with the original deluxe version of the album, I never really remembered that it was there. I was kind of just like, bring me back to magic. Let's start back. Let's go back. Yeah. All right. So for keep, I would probably keep Kiss of Life. I think it's a really interesting addition just to Kylie's back catalog in general. Yeah. What do you think?
Agreed. And I would actually keep a Fine Line, just like Fine Line.
Okay.
I think it's cute. I would love to play this for someone. Again, I would like to play this at a game night or like a hangout with my girls or something. Again, you've opened my eyes to different possibilities. And with that being said, what's your overall thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad we got more Kylie tracks. I absolutely love this deluxe version. First off, the physical is beautiful.
It is.
For those that are listening, I'm showing our viewers this beautiful album. And to be honest, though, the most exciting part of this is that there's a DVD of Infinite Disco on here. Oh my God. Which is still the best virtual concert that I saw during the pandemic. And I was very supportive of all the artists I like and watched a lot of them. And Infinite Disco is still for sure the best one out there. But yeah, I think it's great. I think the 3 new duets are great. I think the Dua Lipa version of Real Groove was perfect. I do wish the rumors about Lady Gaga being on Supernova were real. I'm sad that didn't come to fruition. I hope maybe let's just put that in the universe. Maybe it still can happen.
I hope so.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, I think these tracks add a great depth to the album, and yeah, I love it. How about you?
Honestly, I feel the same. I feel like Disco again was one of my favorite albums, along with the Rina Sawayama album, the Sawayama album. By the way, y'all listen and watch our Pop 101 about Rina. We had a giveaway, and if you missed it, sorry, but it's still a good episode. Again, that being said, those two were my favorite albums for sure. And this made me happy because usually when I hear extra tracks, I'm like, oh God, these are the ones that didn't make it. Oh, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Like, and then the fact that she had duets to kind of add a little bit of more oomph, a little bit of zhuzh to it, I appreciate it totally. I got what I wanted with Kiss of Life, a little bit more depth, like you said. If she's still gonna go with this disco thing, I still to this day would have liked a little heartbreak anthem, because there's nothing better than being heartbroken and dancing. Okay, it's like, oh, my heart is breaking, but my booty's shaking, my yams are shaking. I wish we would have gotten that. But again, Kylie is at this point where she can just have fun and do what the hell she wants to do. So if she decides she wants to delve a little more into the sad but give you a little bit more of, yam shaking music, I'm happy for her. She's got time, she's got money, and she's got vocals. So
yes. All right. So what's your final rating for these 7 tracks?
I'm going to give it an 8. I'm not sure what I gave Disco. I forgot what I gave.
Higher than that, I'm sure.
I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with all those songs that just kept hitting me on Disco, this one was like, okay, mm, it's a
Yeah.
grower. It's too many like
Yeah,
ebbs
exactly.
and
I
flows.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I will also give it an 8. Solid, but
Yeah.
clearly, like I said, the 4 bonus tracks were bonus tracks for a reason. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, cool. So what do you hope is next for Kylie? I mean, you kind of said it already, but anything else to add?
Yeah. I would like some more performances. If she does a tour and she comes to America, that'd be so amazing. Even if she doesn't, I hope she records the tour so I can watch it. Because again, I have grown to really enjoy her a lot.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, if she gets a chance to do more, good for her. I don't know what else to expect from her. I just been watching her on Instagram, just enjoying her at this point. Like, do you have
Yeah.
any expectations as a real, like, diehard fan from back when?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, I think everyone just wants her to tour at this point. That really is where she, shines the most. And this
Mhm.
album, there's so much potential for this album to do like a really cool tour.
Yeah.
I mean, but in the meantime, I'll just keep rewatching Infinite Disco.
Not the placement of the album in the frame. You know what? And on that note, you guys, tell us all what you think about the Disco Guest List edition and other bonus tracks. And let us know your thoughts in the comments below about the songs. You agree with us? You disagree with us? Let us know. We're here for it. And don't forget to follow us on all of our social media at CCTV Pops. Please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. And for our listeners, give us a rating, a review, and please don't forget 5 stars, y'all. 5 stars. Make sure to do this on your preferred platform. And until next time, that's Chris.
That's Jan.
And we are CCTV.